Loads and loads of hints and tips about how to make summer retail successful. I am focusing on people who have kids who are now on summer holidays because it makes a massive difference to how you would normally run your business when the kids get off school. But what I'm really talking about is just about successful retail. So if you don't have kids and you're not thinking, oh, summer holidays make a difference to me, it doesn't matter. What I'm giving you is just what retail's meant to be about anyway. If you're team building, it's also going to be relevant for you to teach down, because if you've got a team, you're probably going to have somebody that's also looking at summer holidays and thinking, hell, how do I do this? So it is relevant for everybody. When we started in Clean Easy, Luke was 4, Emily was 6, and Luke left primary school yesterday. So I've come right the way through with kids at primary school. So what I'm about to say is what I've gleaned and what's been helpful for me for still getting my money. Did I do that right?
Bottom one.
Oh. For getting money for throughout the summer. The first summer we decided, oh no, like I'm just going to spend the time with the kids because they're my top priority. Weren't going to retail, and we found it's really expensive when the kids are off school, and if you're not earning any money either, it really does land you in your strum. So we've never done that again. We've worked through the summer holidays, but done it in a really clever way, because the summer holidays are about having fun with your kids. So the summer retail success, the priority for you or your team member, if you're training this down, is to maintain the income, their income. So how do you do that? How do you maintain the level of income? Well, you do it simply by making sure that all your customers are still getting a catalogue in each sales period. In other words, retail what you should be doing anyway. So what makes it easier to maintain it? Well, it is having a system to follow. It's about knowing how many customers that you have, knowing how many catalogues you deliver to each period. That's customer base and blanket drop, because obviously you'll the different amounts of time required for each. And about having a really good system with your wet books. There are 4 weeks to a sales period. If you've got to have all of your customers receiving a book in that time, hey, guess what? Week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. It ain't rocket science. That's what you need to be doing. Get your wet books there and use them. Have your dates in your wet books so you know how long it is since you were last there. Do all the things that you're meant to do that you hear on the induction. Just put it into practice. On your wet books, make sure obviously you're putting your details on there, because when the kids are off and you've got them there as well, do you know what, your brain absolutely just gets scrambled. And sometimes, I've actually posted my wet book through somebody's door with a catalogue at one point. If you've got the details on there, they know where to send it back to. Stupid things happen when your brain isn't quite switched on. So have that on there. Also make sure you've got a note of how long it takes you to deliver and how long it takes you to collect that set of books for that week. Now that's going to be relevant when you're doing 4 weeks into 3. Right, so what do I mean by 4 weeks into 3? 4 weeks of a sales period. If you're using your web books to count up how many customers you do, normally, let's say for example, you're going to, your customer base, you're going to do 200 books. That's your normal. Week in, week out, each book you cover in your 200. I'm just guessing at numbers. Yours obviously will be specific for you. If you're going on holiday, if you've got a team member going on holiday, let's say they're going to go on holiday this week, okay? The way to still get through every customer is just to say, do you know what, I've got 200 customers to share out in the other weeks, yeah? So I still get my 800 customers, my 4 books, covered in the time. You can do that in a variety of ways. If you want to put, say, like approximately 70 extra, 65, 70 extra on each week, then you're just going to do 270 in the weeks that you're here. Yeah? It's an option. You might decide you just want to put that one into 2. So you're doing your normal 200, then you're putting half of this one in, doing 300 that week, on holiday, doing 300 that week. It doesn't matter. The bottom line is you've still got 800 catalogues going out in 4 weeks. Okay? When you've got your books, let's say, for example, take the last one where you're splitting it in 2. So week 1, you're doing exactly the same. Those are your catalogues that you're dropping off. Week 2, you're now doing week 2 and the first bit of your week 3. Yeah? And then when it comes after your holiday, you do the half that's left on week 4. No different. Your customers are all in exactly the same order as they normally are, whether you're on holiday or not, and whether you're doing the 4 weeks, all of your customers in 4 weeks or 3. Alright? Do you see how simple it is? You can still cover every customer. If you're covering every customer, there is every reason to expect that your retail is going to be exactly the same, your income's going to be exactly the same. Hey presto, you've still got all the time and the money that you were expecting. So, the next thing to do from there is to think about what the retail pattern is. Because you're going to have to organise this, or you're going to have to show your team members to organise this over the summer. So the basic retail pattern, if you agree, is your books go out, your books come in, you get your stragglers, you place your order, you receive your order and do pack and stack, you do your deliveries to your customers, you pay clean easy, you buy banking the money, and if there's any straggler deliveries, you do those as well. Okay? A normal set of this is what happens for that set of customers. So what do you need to do? You need to get organised. This is the practical bit. Anybody receive products in a blue bag? You often get that. Keep it, because this is what I do. Oh, there isn't a little flippy. Oh, Doug, come and be my assistant.
Give us the look, Doug.
Right, this is what I do every single summer, and it's just good practice. I love it. Everybody should be used to filling in a weekly planner for what you're doing, for when your catalogues are going out, when your catalogues are coming in, when you're doing the straggles, okay? Exactly the same, except that over the summer period you're going to have a number of weeks that it's covering, okay? So I've got 6 weeks that I've put on here. So you're going to get 6 weeks that you look at all at once. This is because your brain gets scrambled and you will forget whether it's Monday, Tuesday or Wednesday. You might even forget whether it's morning or afternoon when you've got the kids running around with you. So have it written down and it will help save you all of that trouble of trying to think, where on earth am I? Now, I've got mine sorted mine's covering 8 weeks until my kids are back at school. And I've got that stuck up in a really visible place in my house, so that it's there. And what I've done is I've simply used my diary. So the first thing you need is your diary. Because summer holidays are about fun with the kids. So if you're going on holiday, you want to take that out. If you are taking your kids on days out, plan when that is. Put all those things in and enjoy that time that you're going to have with the kids, all right? So that's absolutely fab. And then around that, you can put in how you're doing your retail, whether that's actually, you know, you're going to be around for the same weeks as normal, or whether that's going to be because you're splitting it because you're going away. It doesn't really matter as long as you know what you're doing. So I've got, for example, here on the Friday, I've got the books going out, so you'd have your 200 books going out. You're collecting them in again on the Monday, 200 in, okay? This is nothing different from what you'd be doing every week, until you hit where you're going on holiday, okay? And what all that's going to require is, you see, normally, if you would be doing your deliveries here, all you're going to do is make sure that you write it so when you're back from holiday. Okay? It's really, really simple. So, when it's written down, your customer phones you up. You don't have to think, oh gosh, hang on, I'm going on holiday and I'm back on Tuesday and yeah, I can come and do a straggler delivery. Yeah, I'll probably do Tuesday evening for you. And do you know what I mean? All that kind of stuff. You just go to your thing and say, yeah, that's fine. When I'm back, yeah, it's actually Wednesday evening that I'm going to be doing the deliveries. And you know where you are. Okay? And you write that. What I've always done is the day that I'm collecting my catalogues in, I write underneath in brackets the day on my planner when I'm going to be delivering those products for the people, okay? So that when I'm writing out my slips, I know I've sorted it right the way through the summer. I'm not having to do those extra thinking bits where, you know, when you've got the kids around, sometimes you get it wrong. So it is simply a matter of planning. Just get your 6 weeks or so and get them out there, get them planned so they're in front of you. The other thing that I've got on here is about planning to commit your order. Now, when you're on holiday, sometimes you're going to be committing your order differently. And if it's written down on here, it'll help you to remember, because if you're out of sync from normal, then it's easy to forget things. So, I mean, what we've got, we're actually going to have our order completely loaded up. But I don't want our order to come until the day that we're back from holiday, so I can receive it. So all I'm going to be doing is when I'm on holiday, and I've got this as a reminder on my phone as well, commit the order. So it's going to come up, you know, like, oh, commit the order. Yeah, I can go on and I can just commit the order. Or I can get a team member to commit the order for me. Do you know what I mean? Like, you can get it done so it times in with you. But the key is having that organised so it's not having to be remembered in your brain. So completely standard stuff. And remember to plan your banking. Now, obviously, when your customers pay you, then pay in the customer money so Clean Easy get their money. But if you're going to be away, so you've done your deliveries and then you're away, you need to make sure that you're going to keep your account in good order, all right, and that you have paid for the goods that you've already got. So just make sure that you are planning in when you're going to pay Clean Easy. We sometimes have had other people actually just go in, you know, filled it all in, and somebody else has actually banked the money for us into Clean Easy, so your account is kept well. So again, it's only about planning, knowing what you've got to do, knowing that system and making sure that for every drop you're doing, you've got all of that covered. So, what do you need to do? Because you've got kids, you need to be creative. Your attitude is contagious, that's what I've written. Do you know what? However you address this, your summer retail, your kids will address it in the same way, okay? And that's what you need to get across to your team. If it's thought about that it's hard work, or that, you know, like, oh, come on kids, you've got to work as well, and stuff, they'll take that on board, all right? If you're saying, do you know what, this is fabulous, we're going to work this morning, we're going to have ice creams by 11 o'clock in the morning because we're going to got it all done. We all work to rewards. So set your attitude on a positive note because they'll just take it on board for whatever you're portraying to them as well. So make sure your attitude is just top notch and you'll enjoy everything just as much as your kids are enjoying it. Dedicate separate work time and family time and stick to it. You know, it's fabulous having time with your kids and taking them out places and enjoying every moment that you're with them. But it is absolutely rubbish if when you're with the kids you're thinking you should be doing some work, and when you're doing some work you're thinking you should be doing stuff with the kids. Because all you do is you end up feeling guilty and it's just not nice, all right? So decide when you've got this set for how your work pattern is going to work, just do it, okay? Again, exactly the same as normal retail. Have your plan and just stick to your plan and make it work. But that's going to mean that you can really enjoy the time that you're doing, whichever one that you're doing, because you know that it still accomplishes your goal because you've set that out as it on your time. It is a fabulous opportunity to spend time with your children. It's a fabulous opportunity to teach them life skills that they might not get at school. You know, to teach them, come on, we're going to go and do the work and then we can have the reward. You know, that's really, really good. And I'm going to talk about some other things afterwards that the kids can get involved in that actually teach them the sorts of skills that you would want them to learn anyway, but it gives them a really good reason for doing so.